Now on Nights, Dental Health with Dr. Larry Benj for Next Smile Sydney at Bondi Junction. All on 4. It's what they do. Don't worry, it won't hurt a bit.
Yeah, like a broken record, we start each week talking about things looking grimmer. Of course, large swathes of the country, regional New South Wales, Victoria's gone out of lockdown, Queensland, but Greater Sydney not looking all that flash. Good evening to you, Doctor.
John, how are you this evening?
All right. Look, and we have so many people listening right around the country. It's just different people's circumstances, of course, quite different. So let's talk about teeth, because it's teeth wisdom. I used to work with a fellow here. We all do shift work, but he used to have a little, one of those little toiletry bags, and he used to go and brush his teeth on a regular basis at work after he'd eat or whatever. So, and part of that was working the hours that we work. But can you do it too much, and is there a routine you can get into in terms of when you should do it?
Yeah, I guess you can brush your teeth too much. You can actually, particularly if you're using a very hard brush, you can cause abrasion of the gums and also the enamel on the outside of the tooth. Enamel, which is the hard white or yellow, whichever colour you're blessed with, which covers the inner aspect or dentine of the tooth. At the gum line, it's its thinnest at that point. At the biting edge at the top, it's its thickest. So it's quite easy to, use abrasives like, say, very toothpaste, maybe charcoal-based or something that's, more gritty. And so then you can brush it away. Also, I guess there's situations where, different foods that you eat can have acid in them. So if the environment of the mouth is acidic, in theory, if you're brushing your teeth, when the acid's the most active, the acid can actually eat into the teeth. So it's that acid, which bacteria produce from plaque that produces tooth decay. So the acid is the dangerous part.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that about the brushing, because you think maybe, all right, there could be some teeth down there in the lower part of the teeth, so you sort of brush down there to make sure you're getting everything out. But then that's, as you're saying, that's the weakest part of the tooth in terms of the protection, and the more solid stuff is at the top.
Yeah, correct. The enamel, it goes to a point virtually, whereas the enamel on the biting surface can be 4 or 5 millimetres thick. So, and that's the bit, even if you wear a bit down, teeth aren't sensitive at the top of them until because you've got 4 or 5 millimetres of enamel. But whereas if the enamel wears away at the gum side, that's where you get that sensitivity on the gums and sensitive to hot to cold.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you brush for about 2 minutes, and we've talked before about using a soft bristle. Question then would be, if you use an electric toothbrush, and they're everywhere now and very cheap, do you actually move the toothbrush, or can you just get because they don't all spin, do they? So you could actually be in a full sense of security, couldn't you, if you just rubbing it over the top?
Most do have some sort of rotatory motion to them. So, the thing that you don't do is you don't press them hard against the gum or hard against the tooth, so the motion that they're designed to do is rotating is enough to actually clean the teeth adequately. Remember that cleaning teeth is 80% of the tooth surface that you need to clean is between the teeth, which is dental floss. It's actually not a toothbrush.
Yep.
So that's the most important part to get in between, because, unless you're very bad at cleaning your teeth, the decay on either what we call the buccal or the cheek side or the tongue side, that's quite rare. That you have to really not be cleaning your teeth. People say they don't floss and they get food caught in between their teeth. That's where most of the decay happens.
It's weird though, because people, it's hard to get yourself in the routine of flossing. You think, oh really? But it doesn't take much time
tough.
at all.
No,
Really?
It's tough. It's not easy, and actually you need your dentist to show you how to do it, because some people really struggle with the dexterity of how to do it. But if you actually if you actually get your dentist or your hygienist to show you how to do it, it's actually relatively easy, and it's quite staggering. If you do an experiment of cleaning your teeth with a toothbrush, and then you actually take some floss and put it in between the teeth, and then smell what comes out, you'll realise that you're actually not getting to everywhere that needs to be cleaned.
Well, I'm glad you said that. And you basically you drop it down, then pull it through, do you? Is that what you do with the floss?
Well, you can either drop it down and pull it through, or you can actually put it through and take it out. It depends. It depends on what we call the contact points. The contact points are the strength of the teeth sitting next to each other. So
Yeah.
either's effective.
Yeah. So if you're in a hurry and slurp some mouthwash instead of using the toothbrush, be honest. Come on, let's be honest. Is that any sort of substitute?
Well, the substitute is bacteria in the mouth, and the bacteria in the mouth utilising the plaque. So if you can either minimise the plaque or you can reduce the bacteria, then you'll go a long way to, keeping it healthy.
Okay, all on 4. You're still doing, you're doing it in some parts of the country, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just, so we've been through a short, sharp 5th lockdown,
in Victoria,
in Melbourne, in Victoria. So, so there was a cessation for a few days, but we've got enormous backlogs there. Sydney is everywhere else really is pushing on, Sydney really being the difficult one. So, but you can still have it done if you're got swelling, you're in pain, and what we're actually doing is getting letters from the doctors to say that this is really urgent, you need to be done, and you can have a COVID test, and then you can be done. So, but it's because if you're locked down for another month, that's a long period of time for people not to go out and get care, particularly medicine as well. People sitting on things.
Yeah.
So I think people should be mindful that whatever they need is still available. They just need to make sure the safety things are in place.
And that's the range of dental procedures, and that applies to medical procedures as well. And Next Smile, on your website, all the information about All on 4. You're the original and the best, and you do it in the cutting-edge way. All the information's there on your website, nextsmile.com.au, webinars, seminars, and where they can go and find out more information.
Absolutely, John.
All right. We'll talk again next week. Let's hope things are looking up.
No problem, mate. Yeah, let's hope so, huh?
Thank you very much.
We hope so.
At 3.5 minutes to 10, Dr. Larry Bench.